I did come in with 4-star expectations, which it isn't. So to be honest, it's in the middle of nowhere. It's like a little spill one night in the corridor. I do think the accommodation is 3-star max. The food is disgusting. The first 3 days I was hungry going to bed. So we flew from Cardiff to Malaga. We're at the airport a little bit early for my liking, but you know, my parents like to be there early, so that is what it is. And the flight itself was fine. It took around 2.5 hours.
To return to your seat and remain seated.
We had to go through all that fingerprint stuff that they've introduced now for the EU, so just be aware of that. It was long, it was long. And then obviously because my son was with us, I then had to go to a manual booth as well, because they don't take the fingerprints for minors or picture. So yeah, it was just really long getting there. We travelled in total for around 12 hours, if that makes sense. So from home to actually physically get into the hotel, it took 12 hours. The coach ride was around 2.5 hours from the airport. It was really long. So I'd recommend, if you can, maybe you've got neurodivergent people or you are neurodivergent, to be honest, even if you haven't, just for the convenience, I'd recommend private transfer, because it'd probably be a lot quicker. There's a lot of stops, and I guess the coach is limited to whatever kilometres an hour, I'm not sure.
First impressions of reception: lovely and clean, very luxurious looking, lovely details with the bits of branding. I do wish that it was this quiet when we arrived. I filmed this the day before we came home. So when we arrived, there were actually 3 coaches full of package holiday goers trying to check in at the same time, as you can see. So it was very stressful and overstimulating. So there is some orange and lemon water. There's also toilets just in reception, so you can, sort of make use of those while you wait. This is a little bar area just off reception. In there is a candy floss machine. They do have little touches like this dotted around the resort. This is just one of them. It is pretty cool, to be honest. It looks like a flower. These are €5. There are certain things around the resort that are payable. So the flavoured coffees are also payable, along with some of the alcoholic beverages. I'll show you now what's included in the all-inclusive package. There are some lovely water features, and there's a lot of thought actually gone into how the resort looks. The resort is massive, by the way, so we will take a little walk-in tour. So we're just coming up from reception. We're just heading towards the main entertainment area, which is on the stage there, is on the right, and then to the left over there is where our room was, and this one of the pools is there as well. So here is the pool that our balcony kind of looked out onto. This is by the Mallorca residence, or Mallorca wing, whatever you want to call this. So it's a lovely little pool. Next to the pool we do have some toilets, and there is a laundry which you can use. It's €4 for the wash and €3 for the dryer, so €7 total. You will need some powder which you can buy at the souvenir shop there just next door. It is expensive. So we were on a ground floor flat, guys, number 12. We were in a triple room, so we've got twin beds and a single in the same room. Lovely balcony, and it does look really nice, to be fair. Like I said, they've put a lot of thought into the little touches, the plants and the trees, and how it actually looks. Lovely big TV, and some nice touches in the room with the art. In terms of room amenities though guys, there isn't a lot. There's plenty of space to keep your clothes, so lots of shelving and space on the left and right to hang your clothes. There is a safe. It is chargeable, however, I believe it's €44 for a week, which to be honest is quite expensive in my opinion. You'd think it'd be included. There was no kettle in the room. There's also no coffee machine.
There's no iron, so I've had to just, try and hang my clothes up, because I'm not going to lie, I didn't iron them. I thought, I'll just iron them there, and then there's no iron.
We did hear that we could hire a kettle from reception, but one of our friends we made tried and reception didn't seem to know what they were talking about. So there was a fridge with nothing in it, no free water. The bathroom was lovely and clean, and space to hang things, standard shower, no bath.
I didn't think there was a hairdryer, but then I found it was in the bathroom.
This is just outside of our room. So there's the pool on the left. Just going to go around and have a look at the other pool quickly, and we'll just walk to the gym. Yeah, see the little touches with the flowers everywhere and the trees. It is actually really nice, and to be honest, the perimeter, so around the resort, is usually very, very clean, to be honest, unless it's sort of late in the day, but that's to be expected. By the morning, it's usually spotless again. This is the second pool, well, one of 5, I believe. My unwanted apparel gym outfit. They do sponsor me. I was actually the first athlete that they sponsored and honoured, so thank you guys so much for believing in me and for allowing me to always look amazing when I go to the gym. So I couldn't get footage because there was someone else training in the gym, but the gym, it's just your standard sort of basic hotel gym. They've just got a couple of exercise balls, 2 cardio machines, so a treadmill and a cross trainer, a couple of free weights. To be honest, the weights only went up to 10 kilograms, but it is what it is. At least I could get a little workout in. They did have a multi-gym in there as well, but again, I couldn't get footage, but I really didn't know what to do with it. It was like some space age weird multi-gym. So I'm just going to head up now to the sports areas. So this was my first, I hadn't actually used any of this, and I filmed this the day before we came home, and it was actually the first time I'd gone to this area. So there is obviously more toilets. There's a little splash park there, and then I did notice that there was a shooting gallery, which I did not know was a thing. I couldn't get footage again, but there is a sort of volleyball section there, and there was tennis, like a tennis area as well. So this is the stage in the main entertainment area. There's a little arcade there, plenty of seating. This does fill up in the night time. It does get very, very busy. And then just down this ramp to the right, there is an actual sort of arcade, and there are some of those bouncy trampoline things for the children. Couldn't get footage in the night time again, as I didn't obviously just want to randomly film people's children and people. But yes, I will show that to you in a sec. Just there is table tennis, so you can hire rackets and balls for that. Again, the resort itself is very aesthetically pleasing, to be honest. It does look really nice on the footage. There's the trampolines, there's some rides, and there's ice hockey in there, and I believe pool and things like that, and racing. Lovely, like I said, lovely attention to detail with the gardening and the flowers. I'm just going to head down now to the main pool. Really did enjoy how pretty all the flowers are. They're absolutely everywhere, and to be honest, they seem to cut the grass a lot. They really maintain the gardens. There's the big water slides. So my son actually went on two. He went on the red one and the pink one. I think he was doing them in order, and then he actually hurt his back, he said, on the pink one, so he didn't go on them again after day one. Just gonna head to the main pool. There is a bar there on the left. There are some entertainment they do from this pool, which is actually pretty cool. You can sort of run on water on these platforms, and you've got to try and reach the end, so that's quite fun. All the pools none of them are heated, unfortunately, but you know, it's kind of nice when it's a very hot day to cool off. Again, lovely details with the trees. This is one of the splash parks for the children. To be honest, it's a very good resort for children in the daytime and the nighttime, to be honest. There's a lot of children's entertainment. It seems like the bulk of the entertainment is sort of aimed at children, which is to be expected. I will put up a program of the events now. This is the wave pool. There's my son in the wave pool. I would recommend being in there with them. So my son is around 5 foot and going on 12, but I was still quite nervous with him being in there by himself. This is the snack bar, the beach bar. There's the kids club, the lobbies. The snack bar is open, I believe, all day up until 6:30 p.m. If you want to go there, it then reopens from 7:30 p.m. But you have to book 24 hours in advance at reception. Food, to be honest, all around is questionable. It's always quite bland and a little bit cold. This is the kind of general vibe every day. I couldn't get footage of the main restaurant because it is always so busy, but I will pop up some footage of that now for you guys to see.
The food is okay. I would have said it was disgusting up until day 3, and then we kind of had like a bit of a pivot, and I started seeing some food that I feel was edible, you know, like the first 3 days I was hungry going to bed because I forgot to buy snacks also, just because I was so dysregulated that I couldn't even, you know, look after myself. I mean, I guess it's to be expected for the price point. I didn't realise the price point. Obviously, I didn't book the holiday. It was kind of bestowed upon me. You know, I'm just here as like a placeholder, because to be honest, I really do package holidays. I haven't done one since 2022.
This is the view from the snack bar, which is stunning, to be honest. And there is a rooftop terrace, which this is the view from, again, from the snack bar. You can access the beach from a gate from the back of the snack bar, which was really cool as well. So we did look for shells and rocks on this beach and spent quite a bit of time on there, which it was very nice, to be honest. There is the gate where you can access the beach.
I recommend getting the free bus to Puerto Banus, but Puerto Banus itself I thought was lovely, very high end. You get to see like a lot of yachts and lovely cars and, you know, nice shops. There's Gucci, Chanel, Michael Kors, just to name a few. I got these sunglasses there, and I never see green sunglasses. It's very uncommon, so I had to grab them. It's my favourite colour. Joel had a nice time. There's one of those shops, you know, they just sell everything, like cool things. So we had a bunch of stuff there. Just be aware on the beach, you will get bombarded and ask for massages. We got asked by 3 separate massage therapists on the beach. And the one even just started massaging me, and she was like putting a leaflet into my face. I'm like, no, like, you know, I'm neuro, please don't touch me. Also, I don't have cash. As soon as I said I don't have cash, then they go away. And then there was a gentleman selling watches and fake t-shirts. So yeah, just be aware of that. You would likely get bombarded when you go to Puerto Banus. We went for a walk. Like there's like a little strip of like restaurants and shops. So we just went for a wander. We did like a 3-mile walk. So 1.5 miles there and then 1.5 miles back. Hopefully I'm putting footage on top of this now so you can see it. It was really, really pretty in the areas. I'm feeling better today. I feel like it's taken me 5 days to regulate. So bear in mind, this review is coming from me who's super neurodivergent. I'm autistic, ADHD, I've got generalized anxiety disorder. So yeah, I do struggle a lot with, you know, a lot of noise. It's like sensory wise, it's been a nightmare for me. And just, I think, being, you know, out of my comfort zone. Because I thought it was 4-star, so I think I did come in with expectations, quite high expectations actually. But yeah, I did come in with 4-star expectations, which it isn't. So apparently I was looking at a Facebook group and it says the reason they're 4-star is due to, you know, all the splash parks, the water parks and everything. All the pools are freezing cold, none of them are heated. Obviously they can't help that, so that hasn't gone into my markings or won't go into my markings when I do my final score. To be honest, for the children, it's great in the daytime if they love swimming and they love slides. Joel went down the 2 of the slides, but he hurt his back on the one, so then he didn't really go back. And then the wave pool is really good too, but I'd recommend going in with them because it's very wavy. I was quite anxious with Joey in there by himself, even though I was on the sidelines and he's going on 12. But maybe that's just me being anxious, I'm not sure. I think there's a height restriction on some of the slides and also the wave pool as well. I will say we're in a ground floor apartment and there has been a lot of noise. Particularly in the night times, it sounds like they're moving furniture. We thought it was the cleaners, but it can't be because it's happening at 6 a.m, like middle of the morning, like 11 a.m. And then also in the afternoon and like all in the evening, and it just sounds like children stomping around. So I wouldn't recommend getting a ground floor flat. I perhaps would opt for a top floor. It might be better, to be honest. It's just, to be honest, it's in the middle of nowhere. So just if you want to come to the resort, just be prepared. Do feel that the accommodation is lovely and clean, apart from there was like a little spill one night in the corridor. I do think the accommodation is 3-star max. The staff are lovely enough.
I do think that whether you enjoy this hotel and resort depends on the type of holidays that you like and the type of things that you enjoy. So I'm not a drinker personally, therefore there's not a lot for me to do there in the evenings, you know, apart from go for dinner and then obviously go to bed. But there is a problem there with ants, and my son did see a cockroach, but obviously they can't help that. But just for me, the food was awful, and other people will say, oh, it's what you expect from all-inclusive, but I've been to other all-inclusive resorts and for me it was just not 4-star quality. And be aware other people can pay to come into the hotel to use the splash box, so it can get very, very busy. And just to make you aware as well, if you are going as a family, they do allow very, very big groups to book and stay there. So just before we were coming home, there were very, very large groups of sort of teenage boys, and they were quite rowdy and it got very, very loud. Yeah, I would rate this hotel
not gonna lie to you, a couple of days ago I would have said 2 out of 10. Yesterday I would have said 3 out of 10.
Yeah, I would rate this hotel a 4 out of 10. Just the food was not great and the entertainment was mainly towards children. I mean, which is, you know, great, but there's not much to do. Especially if you're neurodivergent, you would probably feel a bit trapped like I did. But for me, it was not luxury. I think the price works out around £75 each a night. So I guess, yes, to be expected for the price point. 4 out of 10 for me, guys. But thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you got some value from it, and I will see you in the next one. Please check out my other videos on other places in Europe and the UK, and I'll see you soon. Bye.